Hello, welcome back to Habitual Crypto. My name's Dan, and this is the place you can go to find out the general news and analysis on Bitcoin and the broader crypto market. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let me. So So here we have Bitcoin. Here's the pattern we drew last week, which had a full completion zone of right up here. And as you can see, if we move on to the 12-hour time frame, we finished this pattern from this ascending wedge. We finished this pattern almost completely. We got up to the top here, so that completed this pattern, and it got to our target. And then this morning we had one of the largest drop downs, corrections. As far as a 1 hour candle goes, I believe it went down about $7,000. As far as dollars goes, not percentage wise, it wasn't our biggest drop, but we did have a really huge. Let's go to the hourly chart, and we can take this away now that we actually completed this pattern. And right here, we did slowly kind of come down throughout the night and some of yesterday. But then this morning, right around 9 o'clock, we went from, let's get the measurement out here. We went from we went down $7,170. Actually, it's even more than that. But, oh no, that was right. And about 13% in less than an hour. But as you can see, but from this candle, as soon as it hit down here, the lowest point was about 47,000. It got bought right back up, and we actually ended the hour higher than we were the previous hour, because this candle's green here. We came all the way up just a little bit above the previous candle's close. But I mean, that is a great recovery. And basically what happened was there was a lot of leverage. Traders, meaning they use leverage where you can, let's say you take $1,000 and you can times that by 10. So now you have $10,000 that you can trade with. But if the price that you buy it in, normally to lose all of your money, you'd have to go down 100%. But because you're leveraging it at 10 times the amount of money you're bringing to the table, each percentage point is times by 10 as well. So a lot of traders were over leveraged, so they basically, if in my example, if the price goes down 10%, they get liquidated. They lose their entire amount they brought to the table. So they bring $1,000, but they're able to use 10,000 in their trade. But if the price they bought it at, if it just goes down 10%, they lose the entire thing. So it's a very, very risky way to use this market. And what happened was it kind of causes a domino effect, because when the price starts to dip, it came down overnight over the past day a bit, but then a lot of people probably had what's called longs. So they're longing, they're hoping the price over a long period of time will go up, or a short period of time will go up. But because they're leverage trading, if the price just goes down a little bit of where they bought it, their whole trade will be liquidated, which will cause the price to drop down even further. So it kind of just causes a chain reaction of these liquidations, and that's why the price dropped so dramatically. But then there was nothing left to be liquidated, really, and all that was left were people wanting to long it again because the price was so low. So everything gets bought up. Plus, you probably had institutional money waiting for certain price points down in this area here. So, I mean, this would have been a good time to get back in. This didn't faze me at all. This is actually healthy for the market because we've been going up so much. You kind of want, having these enormous dips in an hour isn't the best, but, it's better to come down. It gives time to regroup and then go higher. You don't want to just keep going up non-stop, because then these drops might even be even more crazy. And I see a lot of people talking about don't let these companies buy your Bitcoin right with these dips. A lot of people, let's say over the past week, got into the crypto market. They felt good about it going up all the time, lately. So they got in, and then as soon as they see, oh my gosh, I've lost the initial money I put in has dropped. It went down 10%. They panic sell in the fear that, because and what that tells me is, first of all, they might be putting in too much, more than they have to lose. But they also don't know enough about the market, because anyone who went through 2017 bull run, this happened. I explained this in my first couple streams. This happens, on the way up. It's going to happen probably, at least 10 times. It will drop 20%, between anywhere from 15 to 25%. That will probably happen like 10 times on the way up. So, you don't want to have weak hands, they call it. You want to have strong hands, diamond hands, and don't let these institutions take your Bitcoin. Don't let them scare you into selling them your Bitcoin, because they want it and they would love it at these smaller prices. So, and let's just look at the daily time frame. See where we bounced right off of, just about. We went a little bit below it, but this is the 21-day moving average, and and we will hit that a few. See how we haven't, since this whole month we have been way above it, and it was about time for us to have a little correction and go ahead and, you know, we hit it and we bounce right back up. But it's okay to, now is this correction over? It very well may be. We might, or we could see a slower, downtrend before we have another reversal up. But like, this isn't something that phases me at all. It got bought up so fast where it was, a big drop. But like, look at the long term time frame, guys. We're not in trouble yet. And you can see when we got up to 40,000, a very similar thing happened. We came down and dropped right below the 21-day moving average. And there's a 50-day moving average I can put on the screen, but we, in the last bull run, we dropped to the 50-day moving average a few times. So it's not like the end of the world, even though that might be what you hear from some people at times. So, but overall, I think we're in a good spot. I did want to, since we did have like kind of a top here, and we'll see what happens, but we could do a Fibonacci retracement here. Let me just pull that up. But overall, I think we're in a good spot. I did want to, since we did have like kind of a top. So we're going to go from this low point here all the way up to the top here. And if we do, a very popular retracement would be down here to this 50%. So basically going up and then coming down either to the point, basically 38% down and then 50% down are the two most popular like trades. And as you can see, we got very close to that, the first, the 38% here. So, but could we keep seeing some candles lower and possibly go to the 50? What you want to see is if we do come down to one of these, again, you want to see a bounce off of that, and that will tell you that this this uptrend is most likely going to continue. Not financial advice, but this uptrend that we've been on since December, November almost, make a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then coming down to this 50 or the 38% off the retracement would be another higher low, which would give us some consolidation, some time to cool down, and kind of give us some build up to power up above our last higher high. So what you really want to see here is, we might keep going here. Technically, If we go to, well, let's go to the 4-hour chart. We did come down to here, and now we are having, some momentum, but we want to see a daily close above here, and a daily close above above our resistance point here would be also good. We might just keep going. This might have just been a touch, and we're going to keep going. But my point is, even if we come down to, at most 44,000 here, that would be completely normal and healthy. So, today we came down to 47,000. So, that was a big move. But like I said, it was mainly mostly caused by people being over leveraged in these leveraged trades, because a lot of people thought when we came up here to 55,000, we're just going to keep going, and would put in these high leverage trades, and I think that once we fell below that, it started causing a chain reaction and caused a lot of people to get liquidated out of those trades all the way down to 47, and then it got bought back up almost immediately. So there were a lot of people eager for something like this to happen. And if you were in a cash position, that would have been a really good time to buy. So, but yeah, overall, Bitcoin. I mean, we're already back above this resistance point here. If we close the day above that, I wouldn't be surprised if this move keeps going. But if we kind of slow down here and move sideways, that would be good. Kind of just if we keep going down a little bit, that would be good. It would give some room for the altcoins to kind of get going here. So, and speaking of altcoins, we could check out Ethereum. Now, Ethereum actually broke out of this channel, which, Bitcoin brought everything down, but Ethereum actually came down even more, I believe, than percentage wise than Bitcoin did. But as you can see, it also got bought up very quickly, and we're almost right back in this channel. And this triangle, the pattern happened, but it's not really relevant anymore, so we'll clean this up a little bit. And yeah, so it'd be nice to close a 2-hour candle or a 4-hour candle back inside this wedge, and kind of hopefully it will keep playing out and we'll make higher highs here. We'll see what happens, but we are back in it, like as of this hour, and it kind of does depend on Bitcoin, or if Bitcoin starts moving sideways, that might actually bring some money into Ethereum. So we'll see what happens with that. But overall, yes, we did have a big candle outside of this, but again, all of this happened in a very short period of time. And another thing it might have had to do with was Janet Yellen, who I'll bring I'll bring her into the screen here. Um, this is Janet Yellen, and she is our new Treasury Secretary, and she is a little. She's not very negative on cryptocurrency, but she's, she's not a big fan, and she claims Bitcoin. One of the biggest, things you'll hear about Bitcoin is that it's used for illicit activities, and that's what she said recently. That might today, which might have had something to do with the drop, but I mean, the biggest currency used for illicit activities is the dollar. So, yes, Bitcoin has there's some pros and cons that go with everything, and Bitcoin being a decentralized currency that is a lot easier to keep private and keep your identity private. Of course, there's some negative things that come with it, but I would argue that the pros far outweigh the cons of for Bitcoin. And like I said, like the argument that that people use it for to do bad things, that argument can be made with the dollar way more than it can with Bitcoin. So we'll see what happens, but that is one reason why it might have had a little spike here today. To do bad things, that argument can be made with the dollar way more. Just checking on a few of the other. We'll see what happens, but that is one reason why. This is Cardano. Also had a dip, but right back, and you could see very similar patterns to what happened with Bitcoin, and everything's kind of back on track after that. This is Cardano. Also had a dip, but right back. You can see very similar patterns to what happened with Bitcoin. Sushi, one of our decentralized exchanges, not really affected too much from, it did drop a little bit, but not as much as Bitcoin percentage wise. And it seems to be staying in this pattern really nice. And yeah, this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So normally when Bitcoin has a very volatile day, or is going up or going down really fast, this will spike up because people are putting their money into Bitcoin to keep the same amount of Bitcoin they have, because normally the altcoins will drop harder than Bitcoin, but in this case that didn't really happen today. This is moving sideways, and yeah, it had a little bit of an uptrend here, but nothing crazy, and it's almost the same exact spot it was 24 hours ago. So normally we would see something like this um, with what happened this morning, but that didn't happen, which tells me that this trend, though it has been sideways for a little bit, people are not you know they are feeling confident that Bitcoin isn't really going to go back up to these levels, because in 2017 this trend was down. Let's see if it's. They are feeling confident that Bitcoin isn't really going to. From 2017, the whole year, it was on a downtrend. This is the weekly chart, but yeah, we did pick back up for a second, but overall it was on a downtrend, and I think that's what people are expecting from here on out. So it went all the way down to 30. I think, yeah, maybe we pick up a little bit, but overall we're going to keep dropping, and they're keeping their money in altcoins, hoping for those better returns on investment. So we'll see what happens there. Today I did want to talk about NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens, and I'm just going to pull up. This is like the top. Pull up the 7-day for the total volume. So this is the NFT token list, or most of them anyway, and it's basically, these are like collectibles, digital collectibles. He's saying there's an echo. Move this closer. Is it still echoing? Is it still echoing? It's weird, I haven't changed anything. Let me try this. Let me know if that's better. It might have been my headphones. know if that's better. It might have been my headphones. All right, let me know if there's an echo. And I'll put some music on too. It's still happening. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, there we go. That should have fixed it. I had the YouTube, I had my YouTube channel up on a different tab, so it was playing. Okay, that should have fixed it, so let me keep going here. So yeah, NFTs. So I'm gonna pull up these are the top NFTs, and I'll show you like Rarible. We're gonna chart Rarible out, but basically you can buy these digital, and it's a collection of digital art, so you can buy anything you want on there. It looks like their site might be down at the moment. And one of the other really big ones is NBA Top Shot. So these are, let's see. So, like this is $250,000 for this digital NBA card. And I'll click on it here so you can kind of get an idea. This is what you get for, this is the card right here. It shows you the score of the game and the date and the player, and then shows you a little clip of him blocking the shot. And I mean, it's, I guess, one of the rare ones, but I mean, all these cards, most of them are over $50,000 and a bunch over $100,000. But this is going to be the new kind of genre that collectibles and, you know, younger people really get into. And then Rareable is more, you can create art and sell it. So let's see, this guy is a top seller for today. Let's see what he draws. So I mean, it's really just, you know, people create art and put it on here, and you're buying it with Ethereum. And everything, any NFT, it stands for non-fungible token, meaning no one can copy that token. And that token, that Ethereum code is embedded in the piece, in the art. So so you know it's an original. There's no more like taking it to the Antiques Roadshow and hoping that it's the real deal. You know it when because of the Ethereum code attached to it. But there's other ones too. This is CryptoPunks, and this is literally, they're just tiny, they all look like this. They're all digital pixels like this, and it's just a face. And this one is selling for 25 Ethereum, which is probably close to $40,000 for this. I mean, it's crazy, but it sells. It sold. The last time it sold was 2 minutes ago for 24 Ethereum. So it's kind of crazy, but people get obsessed with this stuff, and there's money to be made. And I would say most of these people are buying it as an investment for the future, because this stuff is so new. A lot of it's only a year or two old. People believe in 10 years, you know, this card could easily be worth $1 million. So we'll see what happens, but this stuff is growing rapidly, and people are really getting into it. So let's yeah, I can't comprehend it either, Victoria. It's yeah, this guy, 92 Ethereum for this one. $150,000. I don't know. I don't. That's the average price. So this is the history of it. And like I said, like CryptoPunks is 4 years old. So this sold for, you know, half an Ethereum 4 years ago, which was probably only like $50. And people hold it, and now they're selling it now for 250 Ethereum, possibly. It's crazy. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. So yeah, people are looking at these like they're getting the first initial offerings of a lot of different digital art things, so they can make money in the years to come. But I'm just going to pull up another one called Decentraland, which is more in the video game space. And that's where a lot of NFTs are actually going to be, a lot of money will be made, because like if you think of games like Warcraft, you have skins that you can wear, or any game really. Most of them have like different skins you can wear to make you look different. Well, now there's going to be NFT skins that no one can replicate, and only maybe a few people are allowed to have this type of skin, or just one person, and you'll be able to sell it to somebody else, but it can't be copied, because it has this code attached to it. So that items and skins, that type of stuff in games, is all the NFT space is really going to go crazy with this kind of stuff. So, but I just wanted to chart out, this is one of the big ones. So this is Decentraland, and so we did have this dip earlier today, and you can see, I mean, this is going to be caused by Bitcoin. So, but it did have, now it looks like we're making support on this previous resistance. Once we got back above it, it looks like we're making support right here. Yeah, you can see how and the video game industry is growing like crazy. So I can really see this taking off. Plus, a lot of gamers are also more into technology, and you know, crypto, you know, they most likely know more than some of the older generations. So it all kind of will come together in the NFT space with younger people and video games and items like that. There's two main NFT video game cryptocurrencies. Decentraland is one of them, and it's actually Grayscale Investments, I believe, are doing like a trust just for Decentraland. They have a Bitcoin and Ethereum trust, which has raked in billions of dollars, but they're doing one for Decentraland, and then they're doing some other ones for a few other big cryptocurrencies. But it looks like we made support here. You know, this is the Bitcoin drop right here. And now we came back up, dropped a little bit more, but made support exactly where this wick had come down previously, and where these wicks had resistance earlier. So, you know, I'm sure, you know, this could, if Bitcoin keeps dropping over the next few days, maybe this comes down. But if it, you know, if there's a major drop, I'm sure it will go down. But if we just move sideways or slowly, gradually go down, I could see this being a support for Decentraland and keep, you know, possibly go up and test this this high again, which let's see here, let's draw. Basically, you want to break that line of resistance to go up and make a higher high. But this is kind of, should have been a big sign that you were possibly going to come down here anyway, because it's a double top here, very close to a double top, having two big peaks like that, but coming back down almost immediately both times, because that is where people are taking profits. But sometimes it takes a third or fourth try to get up. But at least this was a good sign that you were probably going to come down and test one of these, either this bottom level here or this one here, which we did. And we'll see, maybe it can make support here and then go back and try again. But on the longer term time frame, you know, this still looks very good, like most of the cryptocurrencies at this point. But the other one I wanted to look at is Engine, and sorry, one sec. So what games can you use them on currently? Well, let's look up Decentraland. Let's look it up. I'm pretty sure it is a game. So it's a game that's a decentralized NFT game. So let's bring it up. Let's see what's going on. Welcome to Decentraland. Create, explore, trade, and trade in the first ever virtual world owned by its users. So it's called Decentraland because all of the users are creating it and they own it. It's not like it's central. This is the whole, when I talk about decentralization, it's not just in the finance markets. It's going to happen in many industries, and you know, obviously there's going to be some cons to having things decentralized, but a lot would argue that the pros far outweigh the cons, and moreover, there's not a company only looking for profits to be made. The users can also benefit from the game doing better, because I would almost guarantee if you play and work on this game, you're going to receive Decentraland cryptocurrency, which is going up in value. So you could potentially, you know, make money by playing and working on this game. So let's click in here. Uh-oh. Okay, Okay, so you need hold on. You need to have this is called a Metamask wallet. So I talk about, like, I've talked about Uniswap before, and how you use Ethereum to trade cryptocurrencies with Uniswap. So you connect your wallet to that, and it's like a browser extension, and then you'll get a key code that you want to write down, and basically you can hold your cryptocurrency in that wallet, and it's attached to your browser, so you can just so to play this game you need to connect your wallet to it because you're probably going to get paid and you can use your wallet to probably pay for stuff in the game. Let's see. Yeah, it wants me to connect, which I'm not going to do right now. But yeah, this is one game you can get into and probably do some cool stuff with. But we can go to Engine and see. I know they're working. They're working on a lot of like more items and game stuff. And I know they've made some like partnerships with some bigger game companies. Let's see. So these are like 5 games they're in now, I guess. Age of Rust, 9 Lives Arena, Lost Relics, War of Crypto, and Space Misfits. So I believe they are working with some bigger companies too, to probably you know, get some of this technology into their games. But a lot of these companies are also already centralized, so not all of them will have the same kind of desire to do that. A lot of them want to control what what they make for their own games. But Engine has had a couple really nice movements here, and you know, it looks, you know, we had this higher high here, and then sideways movement, and then another really big push up, and now we're having sideways movement again. Yeah, so like these 2 coins I'm talking about are almost strictly, Engine and Decentraland are almost strictly in the gaming industries. And then there's a bunch of NFT coins that are more associated with art. And then there's one cryptocurrency called Lusco, and they're trying to basically is there a top coin when it comes to Engine has been around the longest and has made like the biggest name for itself. So this chart I'm looking at now, what we were just looking at, Engine is the biggest market cap it has the most money invested in its coin as far as any gaming versed coins are. And yeah, like if you were going to add one of these to your portfolio, not financial advice, but Engine would be probably one of the safer bets, as it may not have the biggest moves in a day or so as some of the other newer ones might have as they start up, but I would bet that over a long period of time, Engine will do very, very well, because it already has a big foothold in that sector. And that being said, there's also some other ones that I think will end up doing really well, but I don't think Engine's going to lose its spot anytime soon. But Lusco, I was saying, they are trying to basically have have the Ethereum like code embedded in physical items, like artwork, like physical like canvases or something, where there'll be like a chip or something somewhere like ingrained in behind the first layer of fabric or something like that, or even in clothing and watches, stuff like that. They're trying to basically add the this is an original piece of art or an original piece of clothing by this designer, but where you can like basically scan it on your phone to make sure it is, like, because the code is embedded physically into an item. So and I'm sure there's other projects working on a similar thing as well, but yeah, the whole NFT thing, it's not just going to be digital stuff. It will most likely go into physical stuff as well. So but yeah, this looks like an Engine. Again, we had this dip from Bitcoin today, and it almost perfectly hit again where this resistance was before. So and we have another resistance up here. So this seems to be working in more of a sideways channel rather than like a triangle or a wedge. You have, basically 3 points. Even if you go back further, this resistance here acted as support over here, and it's hit the top, almost the same exact spot, a couple dollar or a couple cents difference here. So a good trading strategy, not financial advice, but anytime it gets close to this resistance or this support, you might want to take some profits or sell or buy. And if it certainly breaks either one, breaking this resistance, it will probably have a bigger move up. But the fact that it held that same support, it didn't even dip below that with what happened with Bitcoin today, says that this is a very strong support for Engine, and it's still relatively low in this channel, so could be a good investment opportunity there. And I just want to look at some of the other coins we've been charting out, see what the status is. I'm sure the Bitcoin dip this morning kind of messed up some of the, like this is Uniswap that had a really nice move. So, you can see we had these two we broke out of this channel. You can see we came down and had a big dip after, within a couple hours we had a big dip all the way down to the bottom here for support. So this ascending wedge broke bearish. But we recovered, and then we came up, and let's go to the hourly here. And when it took a little bit, but as soon as we broke this line of support, you can see over a 10-hour period got all the way up from $23 to $33. So if you were planning on, if you were trying to trade this, waiting for like an hourly close above this line, then you could even go in on the 15-minute chart. Waiting, we came up and then we came back down and we did go below it a little bit, but we kind of made it support here. And once that happened, that brought confidence to anyone buying that it was probably going up, and that's what led to this big move up. And then we moved sideways, and then this morning came back down, and now have recovered and kind of kept this as support. That first candle we came back up and made it support again, and now we're back on track. So Uniswap looking good. Polkadot, let's see here. So Polkadot had a nice weekend, had some big gains, hit all-time highs, and now kind of did exactly what Bitcoin did and is moving back up. But we have, before what happened with Bitcoin, we have this this line here. So this is a descending wedge. Let's bring it to the 2 hour. So this was on a downtrend. It's on an uptrend long term, but very short term. The past day, it's been hitting this resistance in a descending channel. So now it's coming back up to test it again. If it ends up breaking, then the next point of resistance is going to be the all-time highs again here. So we'll see. A lot of this will probably depend on Bitcoin, what it does. If it stays sideways, then a lot of that money in Bitcoin could flow into these top altcoins first, like Polkadot, Ethereum, Cardano, Litecoin. So, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if these, like Polkadot, could come up here and test its all-time high again. So, but overall, made an all-time high and then a higher low. And now we're looking for a trend change on the hourly and going up and making another all-time high. Litecoin. So we had this drawing before. You can see we broke this. We had this, we kind of had a fake out here, and then it broke through this channel it was in, and we had a big drop because of that. And then it's been on a downward trend. Probably, it might come back down and test this. We'll see what happens. It was on its way down, and then this was the Bitcoin drop from this morning. But it recovered a little bit, and we'll see what happens. It looks like, held support here before, so, but overall it's been in this channel, so we would expect it possibly to come down, test it around here or something, and then try to go back up and break out. So, but even so, even if it comes down here and then goes back up, you'll still be making all-time highs eventually. So you're totally interested in which coin? So this is Kusama. And what Kusama is, we talked about Polkadot. So Kusama is basically the Polkadot system that it's working on. It has any project that wants to get into the Polkadot ecosystem basically has to go through Kusama first. Kusama's like a canary project for Polkadot. So basically you go into Kusama, which is set up the same, and you see if everything works good, if it's doing what you want it to do, before they'll move you into the final Polkadot system once it's ready. And like, I'm invested in Polkadot, and I'm also invested in Kusama because they kind of go hand in hand. And Kusama is having a great day today. Not only, it came down a little bit with the Bitcoin dip, but it got bought back up and now is making big gains. It's up 30% today. And it's because it was in this channel. We see it made all-time highs and then stayed in this channel, and then as soon as it broke out, now it's having a big move. So that's really cool. And we'll see what happens. Let's go to the 15-minute. And you can see so it had this big breakout today, and then as soon as it gets above 70 on the RSI here, you can see that's when people took profits and sold. Like, remember this purple indicator here. This is the relative strength index, so it shows you basically when it's below 30, it's oversold, and when it's above 70, it's overbought. And you can see on the 15-minute here, I'm sure if we go to the 5-minute, it's even more clear. Yeah. So as soon as we got above here on the 5-minute, there was a correction, but even on the 5-minute, we still made a higher low than here. So we'll see if this can keep going up over the next 30 minutes, if it can make a higher high than 299. But yeah, it hit almost 300 exactly, which is why we'll add a marker here, but that's a psychological resistance. So we'll see. It might throughout the day come up and test this a couple times and try to break it, but it did have a big move. It might have lost a little momentum, maybe too much momentum to break it, but overall, higher high, went sideways, another higher high. Now we made a higher low from that sideways point. Okay, yeah, so engine. Yeah, so I'll show you how you can look up any of these coins. We'll keep an eye on Kusama here. But it looks like it might want to try again to get up there and break 300. So Victoria, I'm going to bring a window down here, and we're going to go to CoinGecko, okay, in Google, CoinGecko. And this one and CoinMarketCap are like the two biggest. They're like the two biggest. Basically, coin. They show you all of the cryptocurrencies, or most of them. Thousands of them, and they give you. So they're originally an order from this is their price, their 1 hour percentage gain or loss, 24 hours, 7-day, their weekly gain or loss. And then this is their 24-hour volume. So $99 billion worth of Bitcoin was traded in the past 24 hours. So that could mean it was sold or bought. So just the volume that was traded. And then this is its market cap. So how much is totally invested dollar wise in this coin? So we're just above a trillion, which it actually dipped below this morning, but we're back up above $1 trillion market cap. And then this chart is the last 7 days. And so, like these are the top 10. You can see Polkadot is number 4. And Binance Coin, which has been, you can see it went up 92% over the past 7 days. That's that centralized exchange that a lot of people have probably been going to trade, which might be an option to get Engine for you. But we'll see. So you can like create a portfolio here, so you can basically star any cryptocurrency you have and then add the amount you have of each one, and it will keep track of them all combined for you here. And there's other apps you could do that on your phone as well. But we're going to search here for Engine, which is ENJ, and you see the Engine coin here, which is number 100. So actually, if we go, that's the rank it has. So if we scroll down, and this holds 100 coins, the top 100, and then you could go to the next page for 101 through 200. But Engine has made it, is in the first page, the last coin, number 100 on there. So we click on there, and this is the, you can do like, this is the past 24 hours, but if you do like the past 90 days, you can see kind of the same chart we're graphing, just on a different type of, this is a linear scale, so it's only lines. You can switch it to the candles, but it's a little harder to read on this. But then you're asking where you can get this. So where is it? Here, if you click, let me see here. Okay, you scroll down and exchanges here. So it is on Binance, and it's also on eToro. So I'm just going to type in Binance.us. That's what you want to type in. And then you can create a login here. And so this is available in the US, and you can go to markets here, and I believe if we look up Engine, Engine USD. So you can basically in Binance US, you can link your, I believe you can put dollars on with, you could link it to your bank account, or you could I don't know why it's not clicking on it. You could link it to your bank account, or probably use a debit card to purchase. So this is the Engine with US dollars pairing. I'm not sure why it's not. There we go. Yeah, here we go. So then you would, once you have money on your account, in dollars, you can go here, and so this is the chart on the 1 hour time frame. So you can see we dipped down here with the Bitcoin drop this morning, and now we're here, and these are what people are willing to sell there. This is the exchange, so people are buying and selling engine, okay, the engine token, and this is the amount of engine tokens they're selling, and this is the price they're selling at, and this is price people want to buy it at, and how much they want to sell it. So this is dollars worth. So this is $69 worth. This is $2,700 worth of engine coin, and this is kind of in the middle of the buy and sell. This is a price, but basically, you'd want to do, most of the time you want to do limit. So you're putting in what dollar value you'd want to buy it at. So if you want to buy it, if you wanted to buy it right now, you could probably put in, if you click on that, you see it changed the value here. So that is the top, or that's the lowest price somebody is willing to buy it at right now. Basically 53 cents, almost 54 cents. So you put that there, and then you can put in, whatever amount of dollars you've put into your Binance account. You could do 25% of, if you put $100 in, this would be 25 of your dollars you want to buy it. Or you can put in whatever amount of dollars you want to buy worth of engine. And once you do that, let's see, I don't have any in my, yeah, so I put in $100 worth. At that price, I would get 186 engine coins. That's what that means. So that's a limit buy. That's how you would do that if you wanted to buy engine coin, and that's probably the route I would take if you just wanted to get some of that. And Binance.us has a lot of they don't have as many, as some exchanges, but they have a lot more than like Coinbase. And then the market buy would be like a market buy will just fill your order. It will start here at the bottom, and no matter how much you want to buy, it will keep going up until your order's filled. So it will buy the lowest all the way up, but it could fill a lot of orders if you were trying to buy like a lot. Like if you're trying to buy $10,000 worth then it might, it would fill these first 5 immediately. But it's, if you want to buy it immediately, a good time you might have wanted to use a market order is like if you saw this Bitcoin dip here and you saw really fast. So it was 47 and 48 cents, and it's already back up to 54. So the only time I would ever use a market order is if like you're trying, because you will pay a little higher fee on a market order, but if you're trying to, fill your order right then and there, because you could put in an order for 54 cents here and it might not get filled right away. Or if the price keeps going up, it might not get filled for very, ever. So you might have to cancel it and do a higher number if you want to buy more. So it depends on where the market's going, but most of the time you definitely want to try to get your, see, it already is coming, but it will go up and down normally on a short term. So if you're patient, most of the time you can get your order filled by just doing a limit order. I hope that all makes sense. But that's probably the route I would go if you wanted to buy Engine Coin. And here's Kusama again. Looks like, let's see, might be able to get back up towards 300. But if let's see, wanted to take a look at synthetics. We were looking at this the other day. We could clean this up a little bit as we broke out of this channel we were in, and you can see now it's acting as resistance, which brought us down, and then we had this recovery here from this morning, but it still looks like we're on a, if we draw this, we've hit this a few times, and this was due to Bitcoin this morning, but we'll see. Basically, we got to get back up here and, you know, hopefully get past that resistance there. And then once we do, we're going to have another resistance point where we started this channel. So Engine has some, or Synthetics has some work to do. Take a look back at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the 5-minute. Seems to be falling a little bit, and this can be expected after basically Bitcoin ran up. Let's go back to Bitcoin. So get rid of this now. Basically, Bitcoin has had like a huge run up, and then like you can see here, this was December or January 10th. That's when it started. It had a big dip, and then it started moving sideways until basically January 28th. And if we go back to the dominance chart from basically from January 3rd until hold on, let's go back to Bitcoin. I want to get this right. So January 3rd, let's see. That was right here. That's when Bitcoin actually had a big move up over that week. So I'm not sure why the Bitcoin dominance kind of went down that week, um, but basically since then, all the way to January 28th, it did this move. Um, and now it's slowly went down, um, but basically my point is this sideways action here, this is the time period where Bitcoin really had the dominance went down, because Bitcoin was just moving sideways, going down a little bit, but nothing to be worried about. And now we've had another big move up, and what I'm hoping for is just some cool off period like this, and this will help altcoins tremendously if Bitcoin can just kind of do something like this over, and then tighten up and have another move up. That would be best case scenario in my mind. And most likely, if that happens, Bitcoin dominance, though it's kind of slowed down here, if we get a bunch of sideways movement, we might not see this, but I would expect something along the lines, of some more downward action. Not so much sideways. When Bitcoin moves sideways, the dominance normally will go down because people feel safe enough to put their money in other coins like Engine or Ethereum, Polkadot, stuff like that. So, and long term, what I would expect is us to keep following this trend line and possibly come down to, around the 50% mark until we have another big move up to make a higher low. That's what I would that's what I would expect, because that's what time, no one knows what's going to happen, but the only thing we can do is go back and look through history, and it's very clear on the it's very clear in 2017, basically that entire year, which was the bull run, Bitcoin went from $1,000 to $20,000, and this was the dominance chart, all the way down to 35% from 95%. So I would expect in this bull run, at the very least, we go down to 40% eventually. It might take a little time, but that took roughly a year, and we are already in about 3 months in, almost about 3 months in. So you could say within about 8 to 9 months, if this pattern holds true, really we should make a lower low, or at least hit this as another bottom, the 35%, which would mean the altcoins would do very, very well over the next 8 months. There may be times where Bitcoin comes up again and tests past resistance, but we'll see what happens. But we'll keep an eye on this. Let's just check on Ethereum. So Ethereum is back in this channel here, and you can see we finally like really broke back in, and if we zoom in, these 3 candles in a row are literally touching the same point on this line, making it support again. So might actually have made it back in and will stay in this channel. That's what you're hoping for with Ethereum, because that Bitcoin swing really kind of hurt Ethereum more than a lot of the other coins for some reason. And here is Aave, another one of the coins we looked at a few days ago. And you can see it did break this trend line and go up for a bit, but let's extend this out and see. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to use it. Now that it broke it, came back down and touched it, and then the Bitcoin drop this morning brought us down, but we came back up, and now we're trying to make it support again to try to change the trend here from this downward trend we've had for a few weeks, a couple weeks. We'll see what happens there, but in the long term, Aave doesn't look that bad. Had a nice move up, and now we're in a consolidation pattern here. Looks like that's a pretty good here, came close here. I don't know why this music stops every time. I'm just going to bring CoinGecko up again, and we're going to look at the top coins for the day. Kusama's here at number 3. Crypto.com coin, that's just another, I believe it's similar to like Coinbase, but they have their own coin and have done really well over the past week. Check in on Bitcoin. Yeah, it seems to have made a support on this Fibonacci retracement level twice and already has gone up past our previous resistance from here and here and a little bit here, but yeah, it's pretty resilient. here is, let's see, this is band. Let's pull up the band is an oracle like Chainlink that gets data from the outside, real data from the outside world, and brings it into blockchains, certifies that it's correct. This is Band's USD chart. Bring it to the 1 hour. So you can see we were in this channel, broke down this morning, and now we've come back up and hit it almost perfectly. So it's a symmetrical triangle. You know, I'm not gonna even count this, what happened with Bitcoin this morning. It looks like most coins are coming back into the formation they were in and are now just continuing on. So if Bitcoin has another big drop, then it very well may come back out again. But if the recovery stays how it's been going, kind of just seems like things will get back to the way they were. Okay, guys, Bitcoin looks good, and I mean, it's almost retraced, you know, most of the way back, almost 55,000 and still going up. So yeah, I don't think there's much to worry about as far as the big dip this morning. If anything, it was an opportunity for some people wanting to get in to buy at a little lower prices. And anyone who had it in has almost recovered all of the, you know, loss from this morning. So everything looking good. I'm hoping we see some sideways action from Bitcoin over the next week or so, and so some of these altcoins can get going again. But thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to get to them tomorrow. Thanks again, and God bless.